Paul Kagame was a young major in the RPF. He'd grown up in Uganda and become an intelligence officer in their army. America spotted his potential too and gave him military training in the States.
Were you surprised that there wasn't more protest from the international community over what was happening in Congo and Rwanda's part in it?
No, I wasn't surprised. He's got very powerful people who protect him. He does a lot of things, and he thinks he can get away with impunity, including killings, including invasions. It's simply because he feels he's protected.
Abakola documentary eno batugambye nti Kagame ali protected by United States ne Bungereza.
I think it was Bill Clinton who called Museveni, Zenawi, Isaias Afwerki, new generation of African leaders. Right. What really happened to this new generation of African leaders?
You forgot Paul Kagame of Rwanda. Yes. Right. Yes. So yes, it was really during the mid-1990s when the Clinton administration decided to back these four men. And who proclaimed themselves Democrats, which was strange because none of them were Democrats. If elections were held, they were rigged and so on, and opposition supporters were tortured, killed in some cases in these countries. And so many people from the region, I remember then and since, were really scratching their heads wondering what's going on here. There's another side to this new breed. What are we hearing? And I think what was going on then, my understanding of it, and really the hypothesis of the book, is that this had to do with Sudan and DRC, or as it was then known, Zaire, and concern about the encroachment and the increasing power or perceived threat of Islam on the continent. And so at that time, and still, DRC, for example, was home to about $24 trillion worth of unexploited minerals, oil, diamonds, gold, coltan, which runs our cell phones and computers, and cobalt, which we need to build our fighter jets and so on to persecute more wars. And there was a concern about the growing power of these Islamic states, and particularly Sudan, which briefly in the early 1990s kind of made itself a kind of, as one diplomat called it, a holiday inn for terrorist groups. Osama bin Laden was briefly based there before he went to Afghanistan. Hamas and Hezbollah had headquarters there and others. And the government would hold semi-annual conferences about building a global caliphate and so on. And so this was rather frightening to the people, I think, in Washington. And they thought, we want leaders who are strong in the sense that they are loyal to us, not necessarily to their own people. And Museveni and Kagame and Zenawi and Afwerki all promised that they would be our military friends. And they pretty much got carte blanche.
Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch have documented these atrocities. Yet, Museveni is untouchable. Why is Museveni untouchable? Because he has the protection of the United States government. And until the United States government is done with him, nothing will ever happen to him. He will continue to be elected, and he'll continue to rule Uganda with an iron fist.
America is part of the problem of Africa right now.